This lesson is about empowering students. They have learned about COVID-19, the science of it, how it has impacted their own communities and other communities, and how it has disproportionately impacted Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities. Students may have expressed many emotions throughout the unit, and it's likely those emotions have changed as they've learned more. The class has listed things we can do to help keep ourselves, our families, and our communities safer. In this lesson, students will design and implement an action plan. They will think about who they want to impact and how they want to impact them. For example, we heard that one class wrote thank you notes to hospital workers where a student's family member was a nurse. Then the staff at that hospital sent messages and videos of encouragement back to the students. Let's hear about more examples of how students took action and why that's an important way to end this unit.
Students need to be able to share their learning. They need to be able to use their voice and be able to share that voice and share their experiences with others. So being part of something positive. So allowing your students to have their student choice and voice is setting them up for success. I was just starting this lesson, and before I could even get past the first slide, I had one of my young ladies talk to the class. We were online at that time. And she was like, so Ms. Thompson, we learned all of this. How can we use this information? And my heart jumped with joy. I was so happy that my students were able to just come up with that even before we even had the lesson on how to share our learning and how to help our community. My kids were already thinking about that, and that just warms my heart to think that they were thinking about others before themselves. So I believe that my students were ready for the journey, and they are ready for the journey to share their voice and their choices of how they want to share their voices. So my kids decided to do PSAs, public service announcements, and they were able to choose how they wanted to do the public service announcements. They were able to choose either a poster or a trifold. They could do a video or a PowerPoint or safety cards, and we were able to share that with the community in our spring exhibition. So my kids wanted to create something that could educate their families and the public and the community to be safer around COVID-19.
So in lesson 13, it's all about, now that we've learned all this information, what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do about it? And my kiddos are pretty young, they're still in 3rd grade, and so there wasn't a whole lot of community action that was really coming to their mind. But the one thing I found the most that was really cool, and I heard it from kids and I heard it from parents, and I saw it even in the way they started speaking. The way that my kids took action was they were wearing their masks, washing their hands, getting hand sanitizer, and all the stuff that they had been doing. The difference was they were now choosing to do it because they knew why they were doing it. They understood what COVID was. They understood how these things would help with the spread of COVID and keep themselves and others safe. And they were now choosing to do that because they wanted to take action against what was happening, rather than it being something that they were doing just because a teacher or a doctor or a parent told them to. It was an active choice that they were making, and it was an active, informed choice that they were making.